Time for the second hour of Fallout New Vegas. We're back in the town of Goodsprings and we're going to head up and speak to Ringo. Now, at this point, there should be a random encounter with a certain individual that'll occur probably within the next couple of in-game hours, which shouldn't be too long at all. Let's head right on in to speak to our good friend Ringo.
That's close enough. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
So he'll be a little confused, but just tell him I'm not an enemy and I want to help you.
Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard. We got off to a bad start. Let's say we start over with a friendly game of Caravan.
So Caravan is it's a special kind of game that takes a while to master, and there's an achievement for winning a certain amount of games. There's a few easy tactics to it. We may touch on it later on in the game, but what we want to know is, why is Joe Cobb looking for him?
Yeah, he doesn't look very tough though. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up.
So you're going to say, can we help you out here? What are you going to do about the powder gangers?
I'm going to lay low for as long as I can.
Maybe I can help.
We just end up sharing the same grave if it's just the two of us.
He suggests rounding up some people around the town. We'll say we'll ask around. He says to start with Sunny Smiles. While you're in here, you can open up all the crates. There's a lot of Sunset Sarsaparilla, maybe a wee stim pack or two. Grab all of that. I think there's even a locked safe. So if you're able to, open an easy safe. Boom. That'll even get us a wee level up. Now, while we're looking at the skills here, it depends really what you're getting into. So, you know, at this point, pick, weapons. If you're using guns all the time, guns. If you've got an energy weapon, like the recharger rifle, throw it into energy weapons. In my case, I don't mind putting my medicine up. Early on, medicine's great. It helps with stim packs and Radaway. And really, you can't go wrong with a bit of extra medicine. One skill I will say to put up, not so much for the actual skill, but for the perks that you can get, is survival. It brings some extremely powerful perks down the line. So we'll be putting it up. I think it's a 60 or 70 unlocks an amazing perk. So let's have a wee look here. We can do confirm bachelor, retention. Well, any of these wouldn't be too bad. I'm going to take comprehension. Now, why is this so good? It doubles the bonus from reading magazines. Sometimes you might need to pass a speech check or, open a certain lock. Having a book or a magazine will give you 20 instead of plus 10. Lifesaver. But more importantly, you get one additional point from skillbooks. Now, when I say more importantly, the thing about that is it's a bit min-maxing, and I don't tend to do that all that much, but every skillbook now will give you a brilliant 4 instead of 3. Now, stack that up against all of the skill magazines and use a little online map to find out where they are in each location, and you can get serious amounts. So, for example, boom, sneak has been increased by 4. Dean's Electronics, boom, repair is now up by 4. Duck and cover, explosive by 4. I'm pretty sure we picked up maybe one more, did we? Let's have a look. Wasteland Survival Guide. And that. We have just increased 24 points just off of that. That's why you save those books. Plus our carry weight has probably dropped a good 15 points there, because each of the it is a little confusing. There's skill magazines, skill books. The skill books are permanent upgrades, skill magazines are temporary. For example, skill magazine would be like today's physician, plus 20 to meds. You'll eventually come to find out that they weigh nothing and you collect them quite a bit throughout the game. I recommend you just hoard them until you need to pass a certain speech check. Always save before encounters in case you do need to use them. We might need one soon, so that is a very easy lock that you can do. Get you a bit of XP, but honestly, be quiet when you're doing it. If someone's walking by and they see you, not good. Now, for example, pick this up. Use the right stick on an Xbox remote. Might be a little different on a PC, but go in, boom, pick that up. See any others, use the same. You can use any item. Just go out of sight of NPCs. Always save though. You never know. One might just catch you off guard.
Hi there. Sticking around Goodsprings for a while long?
Yep, I'm gonna need your help with Ringo.
Say no more. I'm in.
She's a really easy person to persuade. Well, that was easy.
Joe Cobb talks about leaving us alone if we hand over Ringo. But I know his type.
So she knows that they're not going to be left alone.
I know Easy Pete's got a stock of dynamite. So fine.
So she's giving you several people. Speak to Trudy, speak to Easy Pete, Doc Mitchell, and Chap. Well, that's good. And ideas on how to convince them to join us. You can go through all that if you want. But honestly, just a quick conversation. Most of them should pass it. So again, I'll drop a save here just before speaking to Trudy in case there's a useful magazine.
So you're planning on taking on Joe Cobb's gang?
No problem. Well, you can see here either you have sneak or speech. And obviously, we don't seem to have either. So let's see. Do we have sneak or speech? In fact, given how little of an increase we need, we could get away with using mentats. And the reason for that is mentats gives you +2 intelligence, perception, charisma. Let's try that again.
Feeling thirsty?
Just below. See, sometimes you can get away with that. In this case, I'm pretty sure if I drink a beer or something, it'll put me over. So let's see. What have we got? Beer, beer, beer. One time I need a beer. I don't have a beer. That's a little unusual. But keep going down and see what could help me out here. 1 charisma. The vodka will do the talking
Feeling
for me.
Thirsty?
You should help me take down the powder gang. Bullets, explosions, lots of fun.
I was planning on sitting this one out, but for some reason, I can't help but like you. Let me have a word with a few other folk.
So the best part about this is she'll bring numbers. Now, Pete will get you dynamite. And honestly, you could win the fight right now, but it's worthwhile talking to him. Here you have dynamite, would help us beat the powder gangers.
Too dangerous. Wanna kill all yourselves if I let you touch it.
25 explosives will allow you to bypass this. I'm familiar with the handling. Let's go.
Uh-huh. Guess you know what you're doing.
No problem. Now, that's pretty easy. The next one does require a bit of barter. Let's see what our barter's actually sitting at right now. Barter's at 18. That's one of our weak links. Do we have a magazine that helps with barter? Let's have a quick nosy. I think it's a salesman's weekly. Yep, 20 barter. So that might be the difference maker here for chat. Again, drop a save. In fact, I know it is barter, so I will drop that anyway.
You looking to buy some supplies?
And because we've taken the double bonus, they're up to 20, so I really should be able to get through this. I need supplies.
Now just hold on. I never voted to take on the powder ganger.
So he's going to try and get some money off you, but if you have 25 barter, say, let them take the town. See what happens, chap.
You made your point.
Good. He'll give ammo and extra stuff so all of the people attend them will have a bit more equipment. The last one we got to visit is the dock. Convince him we'll have medical supplies on our side. I don't know if it's medicine for this, but we will find out. If you need magazines, by the way, check all of the mailboxes. I forgot to mention that.
Hello there. It's good to see a friendly face. I almost took you for a raider, I did. Name's Malcolm. Malcolm Holmes.
So this guy is following you because we picked up that little star bottle cap in the little ditch. If at any point you pick up your first one, Malcolm will eventually hunt you down. Don't worry, he's pretty friendly, but honestly, you kind of want what's on him, depending on whether you're able to do it. Go on.
It started off innocently enough.
So he's collecting these special caps, and you can ask him about it. He'll tell you all about the legend, the treasure, and there's some crazy guy after them. You can find them everywhere, and honestly, if you ever see bottle caps just lying about, sometimes you actually see the bright blue star and you can pick it up. But you can go through all his conversation about the treasure and say, thanks, but I'll be going now.
No problem.
Now, here's where you have several options. Again, another save for you. You can either pickpocket the 6 stars off them. Sometimes you can get away with it if you're hidden. I'll show you what happens if you don't manage it. Oh, I did. That's it. You can kill him. There's not much consequence to it. He'll put up a little bit of a fight. Thank you, Malcolm. Now, let's speak to the good old Doc. Where is he? Found sitting, reminiscing about saving our lives. My medicine is very high. I should be pretty good with this one.
Welcome back. I had hoped you wouldn't need to come see me.
So just say to him the town's being attacked. Anything you need to help?
Seems like wherever I go, it's always the same.
30 medicine. They'll be using explosives. Do you have anything for serious injuries?
Ain't got...
Boom. And there you go. With the acquired skills and all the wee extras, we now have everybody on board. We can go tell Ringo the good news and we're ready to take this on. Now, here's a little caveat. And honestly, I'm not even going to go through with the fight. Fight takes place in front of the saloon. Now, the reason I'm going to save it, or I'll show you the fight, but we're not going to continue with that, is for a good reason. There's actually a really good quest line with the powder gangers, and you can turn on them at the end and then do this quest. You can also side with Joe. Now, Joe is sitting, I believe, just at the outskirts of town, and you can side with him. I suppose I didn't really explore the fact that I'm all in with the town of Goodsprings, and for your first playthrough, it is the less evil option, and, you know, the town has been very good to you, so that is one way to go. Alternatively, I'll walk by and talk to Joe once we conclude this.
So what's going on?
Everyone's with us. Let's do this right now.
Time to look alive. The powder gangers are here to...
No worries.
I'll be set up now.
Go. You got dynamite. You will now be given a few things. Some armor. Maybe it's time to get that DR or the DT up. So take the lightweight armor. Provided. You see the powder gangers approaching the line of townspeople here. They will win this fight without you. You really don't even need to fight with them. But given the circumstance, initiate and let everyone tear into them. Now, some of these characters can die. You will lose, you know, their ability to be a good vendor or anything. They'll be so busy on the town folk, you'll be able to just outflank them here. Stay to cover. There's Joe himself. Don't be afraid to use VATS and watch out for the dynamite. The townspeople are very, let's just say, they like using their dynamite a lot. Now we're vilified, but we're now idolized by Goodsprings, both good and bad benefits.
I owe you a huge favor for this.
So, say you're welcome. Now, he'll stay here for a few days, and then he'll head all the way up to the Crimson Caravan Company, which he'll now mark on the map for you. He'll also give you additional caps and be pretty useful once you get there, if this is indeed the end and you want to go for. Now, remember, being vilified with the powder gangers makes it a lot more difficult to do their missions over here, if at all. So, again, I'm going to reload as if we didn't do the fight there, because it's an option. You can do it. The main benefit to this whole process is you've passed a lot of speech checks, earned a lot of XP, and got a few items here and there. Now we can start marching out, and I will show you where Joe Cobb is. I believe he is standing just over there at the side of the house. Don't ask why he's standing so close and not away at like a nearby camp or something. But go up to him and initiate some conversation.
What do you want?
And then just say, you know, what's been going on with Ringo? What if I help you take over this town? Oh.
No. I got a funny feeling.
I should have mentioned this. It's been a while since I've tried to do both. If you do all the wee things for helping around the town, you can't help Joe anymore. So before you help the town, speak to Joe and get him rolling. Same thing. I think if you ask Joe to help, Ringo will be suspicious of you, and that'll stop the quest line. So I might have just locked myself out of doing Joe. But on the bright side, I haven't locked myself out of doing the powder gangers quests over at the prison. So, you know, they're decisions you have to weigh up as you do different playthroughs, and this is a game that you would certainly do more than one. So, all in with Joe if you're doing evil, all in with Goodsprings if you're being good. But I recommend holding off regardless till you conclude the NCR correctional facility, because they'll still be neutral and they'll let you in. Now, head back over to Prim, which is only a short walk away. And we're going to want to head south. Eddie in tow. We're going to head up a few places, and we're heading towards, see those two statues in the distance? That is our ultimate goal of the NCR Outpost. That's where the troops that are actually based in Prim came from. Came from up there. We're going to want to walk this way. Anytime you look at your map at the bottom left corner and you see a wee hollowed out triangle, that is a location. Head in that direction, you'll eventually discover something. Now, at this point, and you've probably learnt it at this stage, you got to be careful what direction you go. Because if you go in a straight line to the statues, you'll run across rad scorpions, ghouls, and it'll be very difficult to take some of them down. So bear that in mind, and I'll show you a safer route. There's a star bottle cap amongst all these caps. 2 actually. So grab them, that's an additional 2 for you. I'll wait the daytime just so I can see a bit more clearly here. I haven't asked anyone about the guy that shot me, and that's because I don't really need to. But, you know, it wouldn't hurt if you go, they went that way, and you do ask the people that this happens to be showing you on the map. It's not a bad way to go, I will say. You can talk to Victor and talk to some of the Prin lawmen, but we won't need to do that, as I'm not so much following the story as just showing you practical ways to go about this. Now, in there may be some coyotes, and they will be guarding this area, so we are in for a bit of a fight. The 9mm's been good to this point, but honestly, I'm going to swap it out for something else. In fact, we'll just pull out the broad machete, which is normally given to you. But the tie iron, any melee weapon will do. Head into this little container, and you'll get 4 frag grenades. Nearly 12 frag grenades if you're really lucky. Now, they are devastating. Really good for groups. Really good for a strong enemy. Just be a little careful. The damage could bounce back at you if you throw them too close. Coyotes, please move. Dig the graves, because grave digging you'll become very accustomed to. Oh, didn't kill one of them. And there's some baby ones. Grab their hide if you're looking to sell some stuff. There might be something in here. Yep. MRE. Hydra. I'll leave the surgical tubing. Now, don't go in here. If you try to, it will tell you can't bring others with you, so you're going to have to leave Eddie. It's recommended that you don't go in there till you're a much higher level. Now, there is a little tricked upgrade in Eddie going that way. I'm not going to show it in this one. That's a bit more of a higher tier tip. I'll do a separate video for people that are wanting more, you know, more experienced stuff. I'm trying to do beginners and veterans, but not too advanced. We take up a bit of the episode. Now, this dude is very important because not only does he have a lot of great weapons, he's got full NCR armor, which, while you will have plenty of opportunities to get NCR armor, you're going to want to get these. Do not equip it and go near the powder gangers. The powder gangers will shoot you on sight if you have anything that's NCR related. So Eddie here, I'm going to start storing stuff on. He can have all my NCR stuff. Basically anything I'm not wearing. Remember to always make sure you don't put duplicates. Try and repair things as and when you go along. We'll take the lightweight armor and equip it because we may find ourselves in a spot of bother soon. So don't go directly south. This whole area is covered with ghouls. Some of them fairly high leveled, and if they get in close range with you, there's one. That's a roamer, more yellowy kind. And definitely do not head up into the mountains. You see that sort of blackened bit? There's a place called Hell's Motel. Now, it has a DC Journal of Medicine that'll give you +40 your medicine. But it's highly irradiated, guarded by 3 ghoul reavers that are extremely high health. Beware, don't go there till much later when you've got a lot of rat away and a lot of firepower to take down the reavers. Now, you're going to want to head more so towards this little cafe. Now, if you don't want violence at all, head over and go over the dry lakes. You can basically not encounter too much enemies. There might be the odd fire ant or something. There'll actually be a little showdown here. So I'm going to take the more violent route. But again, you can just go around behind the billboards and avoid this. I'm not going to avoid this. Because if I get up nice...
You better get out of here.
Sometimes they're actually fighting.
No.
Yeah, I can derp out a wee bit. Not see you as much of a threat. Now, the more dangerous kind is going to come in the form of the Vipers. Now, they're just behind here, so it's going to be our first demonstration of the mighty frag grenade. Pull the pin, hold it in, and throw. I'll get you a longer distance. I'll take someone out there. Up to you and what you want to swap over to. Maybe the laser pistol.
Damn.
Maybe use a VAP. Boom, straight to the head. Don't let them heal. Always take the weapon. Check to have another 10mm pistol that I can repair that with. Try and get the condition of a single weapon up to the highest that you can. She's also wearing leather armor, so I can repair my lightweight leather armor with her armor. Boom. Check the back of this police car for a surprise of 20 pre-war money. It's worth a good bet. Sounds like there might be more around here. There's another 10mm pistol. You can repair our other one. Repair your leather armor again if it's lower condition. Now, Eddie has this thing called advanced sensors, which means you get a much higher perception and much further distance of enemies. So you can see it says there's a lot of enemies. He's actually picking up ghouls and rad scorpions that are much further away. Be careful, this place does have 2 more. Usually they'll concentrate on your companion, giving you plenty of time. We do carry a 9mm submachine gun. That'll repair it nicely. And they had a grenade rifle. Don't let them get that grenade rifle out. You might have to do a wee reload if that is the case. Magazine to pick up here. Guns and bullets. Now that we've got the comprehension perk, anytime you pick up a skill book like that, use it. If you're unsure whether it is a skill book or not, go over. If it doesn't provide any bonuses, so this guns and bullets doesn't, weighs 2, boom. Skill magazines don't weigh anything, and it shows you clearly the bonus it provides. Alright, so let's walk over some of the nymphs. You can just walk over them. They die instantly. She's got a few things for us. Take out star bottle cap. Maybe the brass knuckles. Brass knuckles are actually worth a fair bit more than I thought they would be. Hydra will fix individual limbs. There's an ammo box over here. Never say no to an ammo box. Even give me a stealth boy. Check the bathrooms, because the very easy lock one has some first aid in it. Hiding. I know we know. Another day, another successful mission. Now, from this point, you can continue to follow the I-15 up the road here, and there shouldn't be much resistance. The gas station does have a few rad scorpions. They're a minor inconvenience at best, but, you know, beware rad scorpions. Even the small ones. If they jab you, they're venomous. They can pack more of a punch. I recommend you just walk through the middle here. But for just demonstration purposes, I won't. So you can kind of see there's the wee baby one there. It's not that you can't kill them, and honestly, Eddie can kill them by himself. Like, one shot and he's put him to half health. Energy weapons are really good against rad scorpions. Standard bullets, not so much. Now, that's one of the slightly bigger ones. You can outrun them. Giant ones, no. These ones, yes. Best part about rad scorpions is their poison glands. They don't weigh much and they're normally worth a good bit. Collect a load of them to sell on later on. Get the caps up. Caps weigh nothing, remember. Get all the caps that you can. Whilst we're here, and since I've cleared it out, if you're doing solo, I'd avoid. You can also get star bottle caps from Sunset Sarsaparillas that you drink. They do provide you with a moderate amount of health. Get Mayor Stein's journal. Pick up the bottle caps. One of them's a star one. Check the cash register. There's a gun cabinet if you're able to open an average lock. That requires 50 lockpick. Check the sacks for lots of food. And more food over here. Bag of yeast. Don't know why you would really need a bag of yeast for, but hey, it is there if you need it. The skill book in here can be very hard to spot. It's a pugilism illustrated. which I'm pretty sure is your unarmed. That's, yeah, unarmed increased by 4. So your skills are slowly increasing. My recommendation is all the skill books have about 4 or 5 base models. So I would never put a skill above 80 because a magazine would boost it to 100 and you can't really go beyond that. So always put your skills when you're maxing them out to 80 and then get the additional skill books to get it up. 5 skill books would get you to 100 at that point. So don't waste those points, put them into an under-deserved skill. Eddie will still pick off all those wee rad scorpions, but we'll just continue our journey up here. What we want to use the outpost for is to get several quests that A, mark new locations and kind of progress the story in a certain direction, plus get you XP, more levels, and B, get you a bit of exploring around the area. So all these things are pretty good. Ranger unification model between the let's see, the Desert Rangers of Nevada and the New Californian Republic Rangers. This guy will give you a little chat if you want to talk to him. He'll kind of give you a breakdown. Say you're crazy, any work around here? Not that he knows, but you can go in here and ask a few people. So the first person we want to talk to is Ghost. She's up on the roof. There's a potential companion you can also pick up here. Rose Cassidy, if you want more of the female persuasion, but you can bring her along with Eddie. Eddie is one of the few companions that you can have 2 of. Eddie and anyone else, basically. So, work, say yes, and she'll want you to go check out a nearby town. Just say, I'll do it, and you can ask her any more information if you want. What she marks on the map for you is the town of Nipton. We'll be heading over to that just after dealing with a few things here. Into the barracks. You have a lovely vendor here, Lacey, that sells a lot of stuff. Nuka-Cola quartz behind her. Now, the one thing I wonder, does she actually sell the duck and cover? Just ask her, what do you have for trade? And if you look, let's go to duck and cover. Does she sell it? Yes, she actually sells the skill book duck and cover. Now, I'm going to buy it. But first, I'm going to show you where it is if you want to steal it. It's here. They don't care about you doing this. As long as you find somewhere out of sight. Now, where could that be in here? Just over here. Sit down, hidden. Boom. Or pair the 74. Up to you. Cass is here.
Looking for trouble.
Now, just say you're looking around. You ask her if she's alright. Seems to be drinking a lot. Why does she want to forget? You know, her caravan was attacked. She tells you a really sad story. And who's Ranger Jackson? She'll want you to have a chat to him. And starts the heartache by the number. Next up, I'll talk to Major Jackson, Major Knight.
Hello. Caravan, citizen.
So, just tell him you don't really know, or you're a caravan. You get various answers. He kind of reminds me of your woman from Bunker Hill in Fallout 4 that's like, caravan or raider, it doesn't matter what you say. If you need repairs, the one thing about this dude, he can repair anything up to full. You pay a ton of caps, a lot of caps, but he has a repair skill of 100, one of the rarest in the game. So, you know, always come here. He will charge you a lot, but hey, if you want something repaired to 100, where else are you gonna get it done? It actually cost me 10,000 caps to repair everything to field. That's why I always repair weapons while they're weapons in the field. It's so much cheaper than going to someone like Major Knight here. But hey, it's one of those things. Anything I can do to help? He'll ask you to speak to Ranger Jackson, who's technically in charge of this place. Just got fine, Ranger Jackson. He's normally wandering about here. There he is. Very hard to miss.
A new visitor in the...
So, you seem like you have enough soldiers. Just say, any way I can help? And he goes, yeah. I'll give you some mercenary work. So, now, our advice is go work for the Crimson Caravan Company. So, you know, there's a fair distance for you to do that. But don't worry, we'll deal with that later on. So, clear out the critters. They're down by the Nipton Road rest stop. We'll clear the critters out, go to Nipton, and then we'll fast travel back to the outpost to return both quests. So at this point, straight down to the road, the rest stop. It's actually a good thing to have discovered this place, but if you went the safer route, you should have discovered the dry lake, which is just sitting slightly east of here. As for what we're dealing with, I recommend dynamite. Couple of ants. They all gather here in the middle for some reason, so indulge them. A few more. Any you don't get, I'll go deal with. Don't worry, dynamite's something you find a fair bit of. Any stragglers? Swap over to any weapon you've got. These things do not like fire. Also, a local caravan might be passing through and they will help you deal with the problem. You also speak to one of them and they'll give you some wares. Don't go too far south. There is a Night Stalker nest and you may be, you know, intrigued to go and look. Night Stalkers are one of the most deadly critters in the wasteland. Stick to the road. You see there's a dead scorpion. There's scorpions over here to your east as well. Load of baby ones, but as you go further, they turn into giant rad scorpions. You're not ready to really deal with one. In fact, by finding a dead one here, it sort of raises an eyebrow. These soldier ants usually wouldn't stand a chance against such a thing. Keep your distance from them, and I'll be able to pick them off one by one. Now, the Avampa Dry Lake here is worth discovering. You can kind of see that they don't bother with me. They all run to your companion for whatever reason. Discover the Dry Lake. There isn't anything in the way of valuables, really. Also, your companion, if you're not on hardcore Eddie, will not die. He will live through all the engagements. He may, if taking too much damage, go unconscious. But don't worry, you can leave and walk away. He will recover and eventually come back to you. Sometimes I just wait at a distance. Now, this bit is about to be an ambush. Now, you can completely avoid it if you want. By just going straight east. So, follow this path. And don't go directly along the road. I recommend you kind of flank it anyway, because there's going to be some vipers that'll spawn just behind here. Use grenades, a grenade launcher, anything you may have picked up at this point. 2 shots down. Only another one's going to appear behind this rock and one across the street. Looks like we just got another level up. But we won't be able to use that until we finish that up. Oh no, there's just a scorpion over there. Now, my barter is quite low, so it might pull up. Getting a lot of skills, at least to 25, gets by a lot of speech checkpoints. So, you know, try and bring a lot of them up to that point if you can. Keeping high repair is still a good thing as well. Okay, so you've taken all them out. What do you need to do? Check their bodies. Note, I haven't combined a lot of weapons in a while. So we're going to do that right now. Purified water is great if you're doing a survival run. Let's have a little check. So, 10 mil, boom, boom, boom. 9 mil, boom, boom. Same with the submachine gun. Raw machete can be fixed by a normal machete. I always just go through. If you see the maintain or repair doesn't highlight, don't worry about it. Now, as for your food, survival is great. When you pick up loads of ingredients, and as you upgrade your survival skill, you'll be able to craft even more stuff. Just remember, though, a lot of things in this game weigh 1. So, potato crisps here. Is it worth hauling about the potato crisps? You gotta weigh that up. Now, if you were using Victor's Shack, or you've unlocked another player housing, you're actually ahead of us. Do note a lot of containers don't expire, but I still like to check. I still wait for a player home, maybe use Victor's. Sometimes I actually just use a bin somewhere that I can fast travel to. You know, even, I suppose in certain respects, you could even use the Nipton Road rest stop if you're really wanting to, or any of the locations. A lot of containers don't despawn, but I always like to wait for safer storage. Now, further south here is a canyon, and in the middle is an advanced radiation suit. It's guarded by a lot of geckos. We won't be doing anything with it. And you'll find these two individuals fighting, Jacqueline and Tomas. Now, I will say that the outcome of this doesn't really matter for us.
He's crazy.
Jacqueline's gonna die, though.
Did you see that? That crazy bitch just attacked me out of nowhere.
Okay, so you can ask him why. He'll tell you a story that he met up with her. You know, they've been traveling a while. But she wanted his necklace, which is a load of star bottle caps. Now, she has some on her, and it's sort of to feed into the story that Malcolm was telling you, that everyone's crazy about these stars. So speak through to him about the necklace. If you have 50 speech, you can ask him, it's bad luck, just hand it over. Otherwise, just say, be careful.
Hey!
Then kill him. Try and not let him get away. Addy, get him. Dead. She carries on her 4-star bottle caps. 10mm pistol if you still need to upgrade some stuff. And then more weapons. Thomas's journal. We're now up at least 20-star bottle caps. Now, you do need a lot more to get the treasure. So, bear that in mind. Now, this is one of the funniest encounters. You may wonder why this town is burning and why there's a flag with a bull on it, but that'll all be explained very soon.
Yeah! Who won the lottery? I did! Smell that air! Couldn't you just drink it like booze?
Now, honestly, this dude's just excited because he won the lottery. You'll find out what that is in a second. You can ask him about it and say, was he a powder ganger? He's like, no longer. He just runs off. Now, what happens to Oliver is he runs into a rad scorpion over in that dry lake and dies. That's pretty much it. You can choose to kill him if you want. It's completely up to you. The Nipton trading post does have a character inside who's not too friendly. He's friendly to talk to. He won't try and kill you, but he's not the friendliest of individuals to have a chat to. Now, why are all these people up on telephone posts? Seems unusual. Who are these guys? Don't fire at them at this level. They probably would pummel you into the ground. Unless you get a lucky few grenade shots off, but they're friendly enough.
Don't worry. I won't have you lashed to a cross like the rest of these degenerates.
He'll say it's useful that you've passed by and he's with Caesar's Legion. This guy will feature later on in the game. Say, I'll do as you ask. Because if you do, say your crimes are unforgivable, he won't be too happy about that. You don't have to go into the Nipton Hall. All it has is a lot of feral dogs in it that you'll have to kill. And some treasure, I suppose, at the top. If you've got good enough lockpick. I don't need to worry too much about that. But do check the mailboxes around here. Maybe into some of the buildings that you can access. If the door's not boarded up, you can go inside. The one place that I constantly forget about, and I have to remind everyone that is playing this, is this little place over here. It doesn't seem like much at all. And honestly, most players never go into it. The Nipton Hotel. Inside is a ton of NCR troopers. Grab their dog tags. You'll need them later on if you're doing a Legion run, and it'll give you some favor with a Legion. And hey, considering they're all here, you may as well. This is an easy lock, which will get you some bottle caps, pre-war money. Not a bad find. Again, take their armor, or at least one suit if you didn't go to the guy earlier on. Be careful. Sometimes you pick up useful stuff or useless stuff. I picked up them goggles. You don't need them. Okay, so Nipton has been cleared, and you find out again. Talk to a lot of the characters. Learn everything that you can before they walk away. Return to Ranger Ghost, spread atrocities of the Legion, and return to Major Jackson. All three things can be completed by just going back to the Outpost and doing a few dialogue. Don't worry about the people up in the crosses. They're mostly powder gangers, and honestly, taking them off would kill them, so they kind of recommend that you don't. Going into the Nipton Road rest stop, you'll find boxcars.
God damn it!
He'll ask you if you've got any medics, and he'll give you the story as to what went down here. Basically, there was a lottery system. The lucky losers were all decapitated instantly. Then came everyone being put on the crosses. Then second place, him got his legs beaten. And first place was Oliver. He got the run off. That's who you seen earlier. The mayor was burnt alive. That's the journal that we got at the rest stop. But he was doing a lot of fishy things as well. So, you know, when you go into the Nipton Town Hall, get to the top, read his journal, you'll learn that he was a bit shady too. You can give him some medics. I mean, you can give him 5. That pretty much kills him. 1, he just says thanks. We'll give him 3. Does give you a karma boost. You can ask what happened to the town, how you survived, ask about the lottery, how the plan went wrong, because they were actually trying to get the NCR here. So he tells you all about that, what happened to the mayor, and that people were enslaved. Then you can say, I'm going to go save them. That starts the quest booted. Also, just before I exit out, there is a pressure cooker. Again, you'll know later on when you need a pressure cooker, and it's good that you get to know some locations that happen to have one. If you don't have a laser rifle by this stage, start heading over here, and there's a couple of scorpions that'll run out at us. They're bark scorpions. They're not too bad. They do have poisonous glands, though, that are worth almost more than rad scorpions. You'll find a Legion recruit armor, so if you need Legion armor, you want to try it out, wear it, you know, happily. Don't wear it into the NCR outpost. NCR will shoot on Legion. Will shoot Legion on site, and Legion will shoot NCR on site. I never tend to wear faction armor unless I'm really siding with them. This laser rifle can be found next to this Wastelander here. And do you know what's a good place to pick up while you're here? Just head out of the trailer park southwest. You'll see a little drive-in movie theater. Now, this starts another DLC, the Lonesome Road one. Now, you do have to come here at midnight, so what you would do is you would wait until midnight. It's projecting this big giant eye onto there, and you can select it, and it'll tell you more about the DLC. It's a fairly tough DLC. I wouldn't recommend you try it till at least, you know, you've sort of not finished the main story, because finishing the main story ends the game. But after you've got maybe when you get to Vegas, do a few quests around here and build yourself up. It gives a level recommendation. I think it's 15 or 20. We're only level 4, so again, don't be crazy. That's where you start the Old World Blues DLC. Canyon Wreckage is Lonesome Road. The other 2 DLCs are started. One's up here at the Northern Passage. The other one is already marked here at the Abandoned Brotherhood Bunker. They're all fairly difficult in their own right, so let's just head back to the Outpost. And if you want to spread Legion atrocities, this lines you up towards a Legion playthrough.
Something else you wanted?
Legion attacked Nipton, killed everyone.
What? There's no way.
So, that gives you 250 XP. Don't worry, it doesn't affect the NCR anything to do with the game. Sergeant Kilborn, just you kind of give him nightmares for the next while. So, these things happen, as you would say. Ghost is up here. That's a wee chat to Ghost. Tell her what just happened.
You check out the Nipton Town Hall yet?
Attacked by Legion. Didn't mean to be the bearer of bad news. Another 100. So there's 250, 100. When we turn Jackson's in, that's almost another full level up from the 3 quests that you can get from here.
Appreciate the help.
Mentioned a reward.
Appreciate the help.
And he'll give you a service rifle. Armor piercing bullets. Caravan lunches. Not bad whatsoever. So the only time you sort of return here is for Rose Cassidy. Weapon repair kits. I don't think I've really mentioned them yet. But they do weigh you down. So that is something to sort of, you know, remember. But if you're equipped with a weapon and you want to press it, so see the way we're about not. Let's pick one like this, for example. It would be a waste to use it on this, but it would fully repair it. Do we have one that is fairly valuable? Incinerator. It's pretty valuable. Repair. Added a good bit of value and a bit of condition to it. Okay, back to Nipton. So, we're faced with several directions. One is straight ahead. Takes you right into the middle of a Viper ambush. You've been used to you've already been ambushed twice now, so this is the 3rd one. You could go up here. Now, this is a slightly safer route. but you may encounter a patrolling Viper gang, and you can go left, which will take you up to a Viper gang camp. No real right answer. You want violence? Go straight. You want violence? Go left. You want violence? But with a chance of avoiding everything, you want to go to the right. I'll go to the right, but I'll wait till the morning so we can get more visibility. So, we're going to head slightly south. Follow the rail line down. Up the hill. You'll see some enemies have been marked, but don't worry. It's just the local wildlife. Namely, bighorners. Which, as long as you don't go too close to them, they won't bother with you. The Viper gang down there is guarding Bradley's shack. If you wait for them to move off, it's a useful place for some additional ammo and a star bottle cap. I'm going to not go to Bradley's shack this time. I normally do, but again, it's a lot of unnecessary combat. And honestly, you want to get a move on towards Novac. A lot of these places you can come back, recover, or, you know, retrace your steps. And if anything, and before you engage into that fight, I would recommend you just coming up here and discovering the Legion's safe house. Most people never unlock it because doing a Caesar's Legion playthrough or getting enough points for them to like you is hard enough as it is. There's an awful lot of their quests were cut from the end of the game. They were actually meant to have this whole side of the Colorado. There was additional locations and quests, and would have fleshed them out a lot more as a faction. The NCR are definitely a more recommended faction for a first timer. Now, if you go any further south, you run into the nuclear testing site. Loads of ghouls, including glowing ones, reavers. Avoid. We're heading north now. You'll see several locations of interest. Let me talk to you about them. Searchlight Airport. A lot of bottle caps sitting at the base of that radio tower, but very irradiated. Leading into the town of Camp Searchlight. Now, it's highly irradiated because the Legion dropped the dirty bomb in it, essentially. Now, there's a whole storyline and thing that you can get to, and we'll be looking at it later on. That little burnt house is interesting. There's a Wasteland Survival Guide in it upstairs, and it's a terrible story as to why the whole place burnt down. Over here is a lot of ammo on items inside that trailer. However, it is a trap, and you will be ambushed by Vipers. There's a lot of ambushing in this game. Everywhere you turn, there's ambushing. Now, just heading straight north, though, will take you to a little rundown ranch. We get a really good melee weapon. Also, when it comes to enemies... Oh, no. It's bighorners. Bighorners are worth 50 XP. And Eddie can kill them. But if they get close to you, they will mess you up. So unless you've got a really strong ranged weapon and a lot of free time, I'd recommend you sort of stay away from the bighorners for now. And here we have it. Wolfhorn Ranch. A few ingredients you can pick up from what remains. Our interest is what's inside the ranch itself. Big chopper. Worth a lot too. Pressure cooker. You can see they leave them out along the place for a lot of people. Leather armor if you need to repair yours. More ammo. Varmint rifle. Right, have a little look around here. You'll see there's a tumblers today. +4 to your lockpick. Let's equip it. Try and not forget about your skill books. Equip them every time that you earn any, because you know 2 carry weight weighs you down when you pick up enough of them. Same as duck and cover. Read it. An interesting thing is going to take place just over this hill. There is a Legion raiding party that's going to attack the NCR. Provided you're not wearing NCR or Legion uniform, it normally will result in the Legionaries being completely wiped out by the caravan or the NCR. Whoever passes by first. You're already hated by them, they'll attack you, but this road's pretty safe due to the presence of them and the NCR. As for the NCR, or there's the caravan patrol. In fact, if I wait an hour, the patrol might completely walk past them. I usually find them, you know, engaged in a bit of combat. There's also a dead bright follower who can sometimes be carrying, well, there you go, a really nice laser rifle. Now let's go over to our weapons, down to laser rifle, repair it. And this thing is not half bad. So, do you remember that quest for boxcars on rescuing his little gang members? This will get you some favor with the powder gangers. But the Legion mightn't like you releasing them, so I don't recommend you release them unless you're willing to kill the Legion. Or I'm pretty sure you can actually talk to them. There they are. Let's talk to this dude. I believe he's in charge. Let's see what it takes to free them.
Watch yourself, profligate.
Maybe you then.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
Away.
Away.
Who's in charge here? Ah. The one that's sleeping? I thought I could talk to one of you.
That machine looks like a floating eye. I don't like it.
I guess nobody wants to. Well, you could always sneak and untie them. Depends if you want any smoke. Hey. Sometimes the NCR will actually pass this area.
True to Kaiser.
That's where they are if you want to rescue them. So let's look at the map so you know where we're going. Legion Raid Camp. Now, I could have went over to Camp Searchlight and spoke to the NCR officer over there, but I'm actually wanting to just get us north to Novac. It's the next major town in the game that will be very useful to you. Lots of vendors and whatnot. Don't track along the power lines and the mountains over there. There's a Night Stalker cave and Deathclaw cave. This is much better. Some mole rats. No biggie. And as you can see, there's some fighting happening just over the hill. Vipers will be engaged with NCR troopers. Or a caravan. In this case, a caravan. Now, the Vipers have all been killed. There's also another camp of them up there, but don't need to worry. Maybe you need the metal armor. Pick up anything useful. And honestly, let them fight it out. You don't need to worry. This is not your fight. Unless you're doing a certain playthrough, I let them fight on. Do stay away from them, though, in terms of distance. They tend to use grenade launchers quite a bit. They killed a load of legionaries. The Legion Denarius is their currency. Pick it up. And their throwing spears tend to be worth quite a bit as well. Now, the Traveller Merchant here did die. That can be a little bit unfortunate. But hey, there's a lot of merchants around here. And in fact, there was a second Traveller Merchant. He's going to throw a grenade at them. He didn't even get a chance. Well, good news for him is I could certainly use that grenade. Oh no. Must have threw it.
That's the end of that.
What you could do is grab everything off all of these people. Talk to the... Where'd he go? Talk to the Traveller Merchant. And sell it to him. See? See? Good tactic. This is Ranger Station Charlie, occupied by several rangers and troopers for now. It's definitely not foreshadowing. Who's that over there? Very ominous looking individual. Oh, prospector. Yeah, they randomly wander the wastes prospecting. They're essentially scavengers from Fallout 4. Do discover the ranger station. That'll be useful for later on. How do you know when you get close to Novac? You'll see Dinky. You'll find out what Dinky is very soon. Or if you've seen anything about Fallout New Vegas, you'll know what Dinky is. There's Dinky. You're just coming off Season 2's show, which hasn't released as of yet because this is recorded in November of 2025. Dinky is in the show, is in Season 2 as far as we're aware from the teaser trailer. He'd need to be. He's part and parcel of the game. So let me give you a quick rundown of the beautiful place in Novac. Very brief. We'll get more in depth later on. But all you need to know while we're in the area is there is a traveling doctor that walks around She normally is at this tent, but she can be at either corner of the town, standing. There she is down there right now. Check all their mailboxes. Have a chat to Novac.
They got spies.
He's crazy and one of the most amusing characters in the entire game. So if you need stim packs, if you need even to just be healed, radiation damage, talk to Dr. Ada here. She'll patch you up. Okay, so now that you've discovered Novac, I want you to go back from here to the Legion raid camp. Completely optional. I'm going to get you one of the best sniper rifles in the early game. If you've taken the Wild Wasteland perk, this is slightly harder to get, because the rats that normally guard it are then upgraded to rodents of unusual size. That can be a slight problem for some people. Also, the cave happens to have an entrance that has an unpredictable spawn of enemies. I have encountered a Night Stalker here before, which you and Eddie can kill, but be sure to have anti-venom. If you're ever stung by a rat scorpion, Night Stalker, Cazador, any of those animals, creatures, use anti-venom. Pick them up every time you have an enemy that carries this. Lots do. It'll stop you from taking damage over time. You certainly don't want.
Prim has a new sheriff. That should keep the powder gamers away.
As you continue to do quests through the game, NPCs will comment to you. So, have a look. Blackflower Cave. Over here. You hear the Wild Wasteland trigger. I'm going to head over to the right. Keep following along. I don't actually have to kill too many of the rodents. There's a much larger population of them, but here they are. Now, I'll let them hit me. You can see they do pack a bit of a punch. There's loads down here, but they don't tend to be too triggered by you. Don't let them knock you down into there. There's about 12 and they'll swarm you. Oh, another one in here. Forgot about you. Boom. Laser rifle didn't do too bad in taking care of them all. Programmer's Digest. Let's have a look. Doctor's Bag. First aid. We even leveled up. Brilliant. So, what would be a good thing for this? I would actually recommend trying to get your lockpick to 50 as soon as you can. Toughness, if you are experiencing that you're dying very quickly, getting +3 to your damage threshold isn't the worst choice in the world, but I would recommend that you look at your armor before looking into toughness here. Lead belly, 50% less rads from consuming food and drink. Nah. Gunslinger, van accuracy, if you're heavily dependent on it, not a bad thing if you're doing a pistol run. Don't use Fortune Finder. Scrounger, yes. Fortune Finder, no. Bloody Mess, I love. I just personally love picking it up. 5% extra damage, flat rate with everything, and plus they explode sometimes. It's pretty good. The Educated perk will get you 2 more skill points every time you advanced on. Best take this on to maximize its effectiveness. If you want. I mean, 2 more points every skill do add up. You know, in about 10 skills, you'll have an extra 20 points. You've sunk into something. I wouldn't. Comprehension is far better in my opinion for the long run of the game, but it depends what sort of style you want. Cannibalism, eat people, what can we say? Swift Learner, 10% extra total XP points. I would take it, but considering there is an overall level cap and you'll hit that way before you finish all the DLCs and quests if you take your time, I wouldn't. The bonuses of skill magazines last 3 times longer. You think that would be good, but at the end of the day, you always end up taking the skill magazine for a singular thing. At this point, you could take Confirmed Bachelor. Every male opponent will get 10% extra damage. It's not the worst thing. Gives you some same-sex unique dialogue too. But for me, I might just throw in this and throw 1 into Perception, because I've got 6 in Agility, and that unlocks a really neat perk down the road. Up to you if you want. Perhaps there's a better perk that you've got, depending on what levels you've been using. Radiation suit, pretty useful to have one of these early on. Now, I am over encumbered. Ratslayer, there he is. Cat Eye. Loads of magazines here. Radaway, crafting materials. And, well, now we just need to speak to Eddie, who has went AWOL on me. There he is. Come here, my friend. Let me demonstrate the Ratosaurus Rex. Throw a few weapons that you're maybe not using. Bring out Ratslayer. So, what does this weapon do? Well, it uses 5.56 ammo, which is the same as the service rifle, so you should have a lot, especially considering Ranger Jackson gifted you like 72 armor piercing rounds. Change the armor piercing rounds. You can change the ammo types. There's several ammo types. And then, boom. Oh, try and hit their head. Now, as you can see, rodents of unusual size take a lot of damage. We have just attracted them. Get ready. They're on their way. Plasma rifle or pistol will chew through them, though. So let them run. If I didn't shoot them, I could have just walked on out. Nope. They're so fast, I'm going to consider using bats on this one. Between you and Eddie, though, you can kill them. A couple more. We have even more coming. Reload. Save at any point if you feel you're being overwhelmed. And if you're super overwhelmed, you don't need to come into the cave. Does forego a really good sniper rifle. Ratslayer will end. Now, it doesn't do bonus damage just against rats or something like that. No. Ratslayer ends up being an absolute beast. The higher your sneak gets, the higher your gun skill gets. Ratslayer is so good. Then you can repair it with several other weapons, get it up to good condition, and it's a great time all around. Now, in the next episode, I will start off here from Brockflower Cave. We'll go down to Camp Searchlight. We'll also go over here to a few places and Cottonwood Cove. I'll show you how to start talking to the Legion and doing some quests for them. Maybe handing in dog ties to get your reputation up. Then we'll go back to Novac and eventually head on further north to Boulder City in the third hour. So I'll see you all over there. Thank you for watching.